No, it's early in the morning, yeah? But surely you're not talking to Ali about our cricket, are you? You're getting someone else on, aren't you? You're not just talking to Ali about the cricket.
Oh, he loves it.
Hey, Merce.
Yeah.
I think you'll find Scotland's talkSPORT cricket correspondent knows what he's about, by the
way. Merce, last time you were on, people loved it. People loved listening to you talk, and it was a brilliant segment, very open and honest, and I think it helped a lot of people as well. Your book, Hooked. I mean, I imagine. I don't know what the numbers are, but I imagine that it's helped a lot of people even further as well, just reading that book. And now it's been shortlisted, nominated in the Sunday Times Sports Book Awards. Must be feeling quite proud at the moment, are you?
Yeah, very much so. I mean, it wasn't to write a book and try and win an award. It was to try and help people. It honestly was. When someone come to me, a man called Jonathan, and said, would you do it? I said, I will, just as long as it can try and help one person. I do put that in the book. And I see a young lady the other day. I was at a do up in Walsall, and a young girl come up to me. She couldn't have been 25, couldn't have been 24. And she just said how much it helped her and that she stopped and everything. And I thought that was amazing, because people forget, people just think it's men, do you know what I mean? And it's not. There's a lot of women who have gambling problems as well. And I just... I think we forget about that as well. Everybody just thinks it's a man's thing. It's not. It's a mix. It's a mixed thing. There's a lot of women gambling out there as well who need help.
Merce, I sent you a message after the interview when you come on Talks with me. I thought it was brilliant, and I'll tell you, I don't think I have a reaction myself. People in the street, when we do interviews in TalkSport, yours was the one that everybody stopped and said, Merson was brilliant. What about this, that, and the next thing? So in terms of, as Woodsy touched on, the reaction from the man and the woman in the street to the book and to that interview itself must have pleased you, but did it surprise you a little bit?
Yeah, it was pleasing. Of course, it's nice when people come up because, trying to help someone. I don't want someone to go through what I've been through for the last 30 years. If you could stop someone going through that, they've had a right result.
Yeah.
It's been nice. It has shocked me, if I'm being honest. I didn't, when I was in the midst of gambling, you don't realise. You just think you're a bad person trying to get good, but you don't realise how many ill people there are out there with their gambling addiction, which is for me the worst out of all three. With my drugs and the drink and the gambling. The gambling for me is the worst one to conquer. It's a hidden addiction. It's hard to see. And what the one thing I did find out, what I realised was, when you're drinking and taking drugs, it's there to see. And, your partner, your boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, they can see it. And when you do stop, that's it really. You might be unlucky and you've got an illness with it. But you just stop. With the gambling, if you're going to your partner, whoever it may be, and say, I've got a gambling problem, you've got a lorry load of debt to come with it. It's very rare you're going to go to your wife or partner or boyfriend, girlfriend or husband and say, I've got a gambling problem. Thank God I told you I want to stop because I just can't stop winning and I need to give someone else a chance now. I mean, that's just never going to happen. It always comes with a debt. And that's why people find it hard, because they're scared to come out and say, you know what, I've got problems and I've got debts as well, and that's the hard thing about the gambling situation.
Can I ask you, Merce, and I really don't know, and if it's a daft question, I really apologise. See, for somebody that's an alcoholic with a drink and drugs, generally say, right, that's me been clean for 2 years, 3 years, and they never touch a drop again of alcohol and they never get near the drugs again. Is it the exact same with gambling, Merce? And as I say, I'll apologise again, it's a daft question.
Right.
Or could somebody with a gambling problem go back and maybe just have a couple of quid at the weekend? Or is it something you just need to switch off from completely?
No, yeah, you need to stop completely, Ali. It's the same as a drink.
Yeah.
When I started drinking, I couldn't stop. I carried on till the end. I just wouldn't come home until it was finished. And it's the same with the gambling.
Yeah.
It's got to be stopped. It's a compulsion that, I'm not one of them people, if people can gamble properly, it's great. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
The worry for me was, Ali, I loved it. I absolutely loved it. For all the pain it caused me and for how much I lost, I loved it. And that's the scary thing about the addiction. I didn't love the drink. I never went into a pub and decked a pint and went, that was lovely. I just drunk for the sake of drinking and to take me out the way I felt. I loved gambling, and that's where it's dangerous. I still have days now where my brain will go to me, you can get it back here. Yeah. You can get it back, and that's where it's worse for me. And you don't have to put anything in you. You know, if I want to get drunk or get high, I've got to put something in my body. This is already in my head. It's already in there.
Paul, we did this before actually, and I think it really made a difference to people. What would you say to someone listening at the moment that's struggling with any addiction?
You're ill. You're ill and you need to get well. You're not a bad person who's trying to get good. You know, that's what I've done for the last 30 years, thinking I was a bad person trying to get good and kept on fouling miserably all the time. And it's not. This is an illness and you need to get well. If you went to the doctors tomorrow and said to them, you know, and they went, you've got a nut allergy, you wouldn't eat nuts ever again. And it's the same with the drink, the gambling, the drugs. If you've got a compulsion and you're an addict, you know, you have to stop. It's never going to get better. You know, the one thing I can be assured of, and I don't know too much in life, it will only get worse. It only gets worse. It will never get better.
Are there things in everyday life that you can do that just naturally take your mind off it? You know, what helps when you're in that situation where you feel like you are going down a slippery slope? Is there anything that can help you?
You know what? I'm quite lucky at the moment, Laura, because I've got 3 little kids, which it keeps you busy. You know, it keeps you busy. I've got like 7-year-old. I've got older kids, of course, but they're all working. But the 3 that live with me, the 3 little ones who live with me, 7, 4, and 1, they keep you busy. You know, Freddie goes to Chelsea and Fulham. You know, on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday evenings. You know, I take him there. It keeps me busy. You know, and in the mornings, I've got a 1-year-old when the kids go to school. You know, my worries start. You know, and I try to live in the day. My worry starts when they start going. All of them start going to school. That's when the hard work starts. Because
it loves you being on your own addiction, doesn't it? It loves isolation, and if you keep yourself away, which naturally you will, because you feel a bit ashamed, don't you? So naturally, if you keep yourself isolated, it's actually the worst place that you can be because it's your weakest.
Yeah, 100%. It's all about talking. It does. Addiction wants you on your own. It doesn't want you around good people talking sense. It wants you on your own, and then it will draw you away from people, and then that's when it'll start telling you it's all right to go and do what you were doing before. You know, and I don't people thinking, oh my God, that's a bit extreme. It is. That is it. The mind, you know, the addiction will start talking to you. I feel like, you know, I've always had 2 people, one on each shoulder. You know, someone saying, go and do that. You know, and the other will go, no, don't do that. That's not good for you. You ain't coming home tonight. You know, and that's how it feels. That is how it feels. It's an addiction that wants you on your own. And that's why I always say it's important to talk. It's, you know, that's the only thing that gets me through it is talking to people, you know, talking to people in the same boat as me, where if I tell them something, how I feel, and they're not going to go, oh my God, that's silly. You know, they'll go, yeah, I've been there before. Yeah, I've done that. You know, or I felt like that. And that's the people I need to be around.
There's something to be said as well for not just speaking to people because you think that they might be able to tell you something about it, but also, like you're saying about keeping busy and changing that environment that you're in where you're feeling at your weakest is going and actually in that moment identifying that I'm in a really vulnerable position. I need to change something about the way I feel. It could be getting up and moving to a different room, going for a walk, going to speak to someone, just do anything to change that immediate environment you're in.
Yeah, 100%. And that's what it is. It is just trying to get out yourself. But it is hard, Laura. You know, it's hard to just pick the phone up sometimes and ring someone. You know, I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to sit here and say it's a bed of roses. It's, you know, recovery it's hard along the way. You have hard days, or you might have hard 10 minutes or hard hours, but it's worth it. You know, it's a lot better than what it used to be like. But it is important, you know, to do things. I do like walking. You know, I didn't really like running at the end of my career, so I'm not going to run now. Do you know what I mean? I wouldn't even run when I was getting paid, so I'm not doing it now. So, yeah, but I do like a walk. I do like walking, you know, and that's good for me. That's good. But, yeah, thank God for the kids as well. You know, they keep me busy, and that's really important, is staying busy. Sometimes I get tired.
I'll tell you what else,
sorry,
I was going to say, I'll tell you what else must be good for you, mate, on happier subjects as well. Your old team are looking a bit lively just now, the Arsenal, aren't they?
They are, yeah. I must be breaking Jamie's heart on it. I haven't heard Jamie for a while. He's been really quiet. I thought he'd gone home.
That's just wishful thinking, mate.
Yeah. You're a good mind reader, Ali.
Yeah.
You're a good mind reader.
Shut up, Merce.
No, sorry. No, I think Tottenham are still a danger. I do. I just think I'm a massive fan of Harry Kane. I think, don't get me, Arsenal are doing great. They are doing great. I just find with Arsenal at the moment, I just think they're playing to their best of their ability. I think the players are playing to the ceiling. I think there's players that I don't know if they can play any better. You know, with Harry Kane, I just don't think there's a ceiling. If Harry Kane turns up and plays well, I don't see how Tottenham lose a football match. I really don't. We've seen it at Man City. We see it the other day against West Ham. When he doesn't turn up at Burnley and places like that, they don't win. But yeah, it'd be interesting. It'd be a great run-in. I mean, we're talking 6, 7, 8, 9 weeks ago.
Yeah.
It was probably all over the league. You know, the bottom three looked like they were relegated. Man City had run away with the league title. Top four was virtually done. And now, you know, it could all go to the last day of the season.
There's a lot to be said for Mikel Arteta's decision to say, these are my decisions, and if you're not living up to my expectations, and you're not, perhaps, for example, with what happened with Aubameyang, you're not turning up in time, or other things like that with players that have been let go. There's a lot to be said about that, because it actually looks now like he's creating a new culture.
Yeah, and spot on, Laura. You know what? If I had a chance again to go into management, you got to do it your way. You got to do it your way, and you got to make sure you do it your way. And fair play to him, he's doing that. There's nothing worse than, you know, I lost my job at Walsall, and there's a few things that happened in my time at Walsall where I shouldn't have let happen, but I had to let happen because of my addictions. You know, I couldn't afford not to work, so I had to listen to the things that were going on, and I had to do what was do. Anybody else who was manager of Walsall at that time would have gone, I'm leaving, I'm resigning. So, you know, it's important what Mikel Arteta does. You've got to do what you believe in. And if it fails and you get the sack, at least you sit at home and you go, you know what? I did it my way. And my way, if it didn't work, it didn't work. But yeah, I like what Arteta's doing. I really do. I think the signings he brought in this season, I mean, every one of them's been an absolute success and a half. I mean, I've never known a window like it where when he was bringing them players in, I was thinking, you know, I'm not sure about these players. The goalie had let in more goals than any other goalie in the last 3 years. You know, Tomiyasu, you know, I always think if you're playing in Italy and no one else wants you in Italy, you can't be that great. You know, Ben White, was it a thing? Was he a centre-half? Was he not a centre-half? You know, was he a holding midfield player? Odegaard, I felt like wanted to go back to Real Madrid, and Arsenal were like the Jonathan Ross, the last resort. And I think all of them have been absolutely outstanding. And then the young kids like Saka and Smith Rowe, you know, Partey's turned up now. Xhaka's playing well. Tierney, I mean, never lets you down. And Gabriel, I didn't think he could play that well. So when you talk like that, you know, he's been great, Arteta. He's done really well. And so's Edu, really, because he took a lot of stick before for the players he was bringing in and giving Aubameyang all the money he gave. And it was quite lazy. You know, he brought in William. You know, and I just thought he was bringing in friends. But now, fair play to him. Fair play.
Absolutely. Mas, wonderful to talk to you. As always, whenever you come on, the switchboard just goes mad with people with so much respect for you and all those experiences that you share as well, because it takes a brave man to speak about it as openly as you do. And we love having you on, Paul. So thank you so much. Good luck as well at the Book Awards, because you are nominated.
Cheers, mate. It doesn't sound right. It doesn't sound right, does it?
It doesn't, does it?
Merson at a Book Award, yeah. I can't even spell. I'm dyslexic and I'm up for the Book Award. Yeah,
amazing. Who'll be up next? Jamie O'Hara?
No.
Sorry, Jay.
Why are you thinking me out? Just let him Paul have his moment. Huh? You always want to just try and throw it back on me.
Tottenham got so close. That's what it'd be called.
The Carabao Cup final, which we lost.
talkSPORT Breakfast with Laura Woods. Monday to Wednesday mornings 6 till 10. On AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.